All right, good evening. Um, Hopefully you guys can hear me pretty good. I definitely apologize if you don't. I'm using, the standard Apple wired headphones. Hopefully soon, given this project, I'll get more appropriate equipment and get a better mic, and hopefully you'll hear me loud and clear. Please see the previous video for just a little background. I don't want to get too deep into it because I want this video to be pretty much getting to the point. So once again, thank you for listening to this video. If you're subscribed, I thank you once again. If you haven't subscribed, please give me a chance, give me a shot. If you don't like the content that I'm going to bring with this project, you can unsubscribe and go elsewhere. No problem, no hard feelings. Again, to subscribe to my channel, like all others, is free. So just, keep that in mind. With that being said, let's get to what this project is about. And so, about, let's say, less than a month ago, a little brainstorming, and now a week or two ago, finally decided, to do a league. I know I've uploaded videos on YouTube. It was more like just uploading clips, of different leagues that I had, but nothing as official as what I'm about to do right now, or do, throughout this year. I'm gonna have a league. I at first, honestly, contemplating doing a 32 team league. Let me just go here real quick. Oh God. I know you can't see it on the roster page, but just for context, I was going to do all 30 teams that's in the major leagues right now, and add another two, because what I was going to do regardless was to do this league using exhibition mode, because even though I am a franchise guy, but from what I wanted to do, franchise would not have worked that well, unfortunately. Franchise is a little limited on customizing, whether it's the amount of teams, amount of games. Kind of wish that franchise was kind of like NBA 2K, another great game, which in their franchise mode, you can, lower, the amount of teams or increase or what have you, and also the amount of games. But I digress. And I was going to add probably two of these teams, and make it a 32 team league. But after reconsideration, I work a full-time job like most of us do. So of course, I have my wife and my dog. So, I have time, but not all the time in the world. So after further brainstorming, I opted, instead of doing a 32 team league, which is pretty big, especially when you're doing it in exhibition mode, and scheduling. It's not like franchise where the franchise provides the schedule. I would have to be doing my own schedule. I opted to chop that in half. And before I get into that, a little context on me. I know I've never done videos where I've spoken. This is my second video. I just did my first a couple of minutes ago. Just turned 37. From New York, an hour and a half from the city, Middletown, New York, to be exact. Lived there 21 years. Been in Dallas for the last 16 years. Now living a little bit away from Dallas, not too far, 20 minutes away. But, been a baseball fan, honestly, since '96. is when I started following the sport. I was, 8 years old. The Yankees, who are my absolute favorite team, of course, won the World Series, and I fell in love with the game of baseball since. A little context of my fandom. My fandom was at its strongest from that postseason in '96 till when the Yankees last won the World Series in 2009. That time frame from '96 to '09, that's like the prime of my fandom. Um, the last, 15 years or so, I mean, I'm still a fan, but not as much as, say, back in those days. Um, I love the history of the game. Of course, I was born in '89, so of course I wasn't alive when the game was going on in the '50s, or in the '70s, or anything like that. But definitely enjoy the history of the game. Like learning new things about the game, about players, about teams, about how the league was, um, being ran during certain eras, different times of the history. Especially starting 1901 when the American League became a league, thus with the National League pretty much creating Major League Baseball, and then on forward. With that being said, um, I opted for 16. Uh, I think most of us know this. When the American League became a major league in 1901, they had 8 teams. The National League had 8 teams. So when you add that up, there's 16. For about 60 years, that pretty much was the structure. 8 teams in the American League, 8 teams in the National League, until 1961 and '62, respectively, when the league expanded for the first time and did so a few times more after that. Um, you know, Let me just say, for those who are fans of expansion teams, um, like my fellow New Yorkers or some of my fellow New Yorkers, the Mets, or here in Dallas, Rangers, and other teams along that, want to apologize. Sorry, I can't include your team because, I'm condensing it to 16, and I wanted to keep the 16 original franchises in this league. Um, and so most of us probably know what those 16 teams are. If you don't, real quick: Yankees, Red Sox, Orioles, the Guardians or the Indians when I was growing up, the White Sox, the Twins, the Athletics, the Braves and the Phillies, the Cardinals, the Cubs, the Pirates, the Reds, the Dodgers, and the Giants. Now, uh, way back when, they might have been in a different city, even had a different name, but ultimately the lineage, pretty much to modern day baseball, those are the 16 teams going back to 1901. And of course, the National League has history even before that, but I'm referencing 1901. So I'm going to make a third video because I guess you're talking too much here, and then we'll get into further detail.